Brie Larson is going to be voicing a character in Mario, and she was ruthlessly, unsolicitedly, is that a fucking word? She was ruthlessly attacked by Grace Randolph.
She's a monster!
And I am not going to sit or stand for it. You know, Brie, we had our time. We did. She said some stupid shit back in 2018. She starred in a billion-dollar movie that was sandwiched between two of the most anticipated superhero films of all time. And she was in the biggest Marvel flop. But you know what? Being real here, ever since 2018, she hasn't said shit. As a matter of fact, I believe she has recognized that she was used by the media and by Disney to gaslight fans and probably didn't like it very much. Only criticism I've had is she's woefully miscast as Carol Danvers, who was a popular character in Marvel Comics when she was Miss Marvel. I think Katie Sackhoff would have been 1,000 times better. But you know what? Time has passed. Water under the bridge. And Brie is a Nintendo fan, and she gets called out by Grace. Now, guys, I thought all women stick together. What the fuck? So Grace says, so if anyone can tank the new Super Mario movie, it's Brie Larson. Just to let you guys know, despite the AI revolution and everybody telling you the sky is falling with YouTube, if you ever want to like get into content creation, you feel like, gosh, dang it, I'm just not good enough. Remember, Grace Randolph has almost 1 million subscribers on this platform, and she is a bad take machine. Bad take machine. So we defended, we defended Brie. I have no idea what this character is. I don't know if she's right. I don't know if she's right for the voice, and I don't care. I just don't care. But we defended Brie, and then Grace had to distance herself a little bit. And then retweet. Did she really retweet herself? There's a lot of that going on. Okay, here we go. So, hate channels are a scourge on entertainment and the industry. But this idea that therefore can't say anything negative when there's plenty of evidence to back it up is insane. Isn't it, Grace? I totally agree. Huh. I just spent all last week defending Elle Fanning in Predator and got a ton of hate for defending Barbie. Will Super Mario's 2 be a huge success? Almost certainly. But Brie Larson has a history of making comments on press junkets, not really recently, Grace. Tours except that are not helpful and turn off the audience. She also is a big part of reimagining the Marvels, a film which I have a good review, but that sequel ruined a $1 billion character. Ooh, man. You think you're being really clever here, aren't you, Grace? Almost absolutely, completely contradicting everything she just said in the second line. With the first line, Grace did give the Marvels a positive review. I will argue for a long time, mentioned it in my video, that Brie wasn't particularly, the Brie problem was indicative of a larger problem that focused on her. She became the queen of, the face of, and that's the MCU. Something you, Grace, begrudgingly admitted was an absolute truth. It's something Kevin Feige invented. I mentioned in the video, there is a time when things went from, we've always known Hollywood is left. We've always known they're progressive. We've always known what side of the aisle they're on. But for the most part, most of them understood it's a business. And also they didn't have this irrational hate of the other side. They would argue, think they're stupid, but it was prior to the everybody's a Nazi time. What changed that was 2016. And the election of Donald J. Trump, and coinciding with Me Too. Both of those things happening together caused a massive shift in Hollywood that was sowing the seeds of their destruction, where they had to no longer pretend to be entertainment. We're going to go full on propaganda. We're going to be a platform, and we're going to put our messages in absolutely everything. Now, this has been happening before, but they just turned the dial up. But we're going to put it in commercials, corporate advertisements. We're going to put it in sports. We're going to put it, we're We're going to put it in everywhere we could. In Star Wars movies, Star Trek TV shows, Doctor Who TV shows. It's going to be everywhere. And that's where the change happened. And it was very unnatural. Usually when things progress, they progress naturally, which things we're doing. Agree with Matt Walsh that we probably peaked film and theaters wise in 2008. I think that's a really good argument. Pop culture overall, I think it's changing, but it's seen better days. It has. And it's largely because of what I just said. TDS, Me Too, with 1,000 other little paper cuts, right? Brie Larson becomes the face of the MCU. It's the face of the change. But then it evolves into many other things. And I would argue that the face of the MCU today is Simu Liu. Simu Liu has been far more damaging to Marvel than Brie ever was. Simu Liu can't shut the fuck up. Simu Liu thinks he's a movie star. So trying to put the Marvels failing was Nia DaCosta and then putting Kamala Khan, Monica Rambeau, and Captain Marvel in a movie. If you would have put Captain Marvel with Doctor Strange, or if you would have put, or if you would have introduced Richard Rider Nova, something, it probably would have done better. A little better. I'm not saying it's going to be a hit, but I don't think it's Marvel's biggest flop. You also, if you got a better director and didn't cast one, you didn't cast black female director. We're going to find out where her follow-up movie is with 28 years later, the Bone something or other, Bone Temple, next January, I believe. But it's the Marvels failed because it was a piece of shit. Nobody really liked Captain Marvel in the first place. It should have never gotten a sequel. And if you were going to do a sequel, you should have really leaned into like Jim Starlin lore. There was a way to make it work, and they did the opposite. And I mean work as we might not lose $200 million. We might only lose $20 million. But the brand damage went on and on and on, and it went well beyond Brie. Well beyond Brie. And as far as, hate channels, I mean, are there people out there who make videos and don't elaborate on like why this is happening? Sure. But the vast majority of channels will give you their reasons why. Will state, this is why I don't like this. I think it's very important to cite, like I got this from an article. I got this from an interview. I think it's very important to cite these things and give reasons why you dislike the change. I think a really good measured person out there who covers this is Paul Chato, who's got a lot of experience in TV. And I doubt Grace listens to any of it. I used to watch a little bit of Grace, and listen, a person's voice is a person's voice, so she can't help it. It's not pleasant on the ears. When we did the EFAP for the Suicide Squad, that was some of the funniest shit I've ever streamed. Just being part of it, not saying I was funny, but just being a part of it. It was fucking. Go back and watch that episode. That was like an all-time moment for me in streaming. When Grace is clearly obsessing over John Cena's tidy whities. And when she made the statement that Starro killed too many diverse people, I'm like, this is not a serious person. This is a person who's probably lived in Manhattan all their life and never left. But leave Brie alone.
Nerderotic.com. Please subscribe.